stuff. I've put everything in our group now. So if you just go to the files of our group, you should be able to find everything there instead of having to go to Beachbody On Demand, materials, and then to our group. So I'm hoping that we've made it easier so that it's all there now. The first thing I want you to make sure you look at, though, if you're doing 80-day obsession, is go, or if you're just doing whatever program you're doing, make sure you look at the starter guide, because that's going to kind of do an overview of your plan, what you should be doing. So, and in the starter guide, these are the most important pages. So the first one is this one. This helps you figure out what calorie bracket you should be in. So you kind of do this little formula, and it has you know, it just has you put in your weight, you times that, and then you add a little, you add 600, and then depending on if you're in maintenance mode or if you want to lose weight, you would subtract this. But if you look at this, it'll kind of make sense. It kind of walks you through. This right here helps you determine if you're going to be A, B, C, D, E, or F plan. And basically, you know, depending on that, whatever calorie range you're in, tells you which plan to be in. The next one, this is the next page, and this is online. You don't have to print it out if you don't want to. It's in our group. And maybe I'll show you real quick of how to find it again, just in case you guys don't know. But right here, this tells you, you know, so plan A, you probably can't see that anyway, so I'll just read it. Plan A is like 1,200 to 1,400 calories. Plan B is 1,500 to 1,799 calories. So, and it just goes up from there. I know some of you in the group want to lose weight. Some of you are like, I want to maintain, but I want to build, to get toned up. And then some of you want to gain muscle. So you're going to be wanting to follow more of like a plan C. So even if you do this, like calorie says you should be in plan A, if you're wanting to build muscle, you probably need to bump it up to the next one. And if you start this and you're like, okay, I can't follow this, I'm too hungry, you know, maybe you can add another fruit in your day or something. So like for me, I'm going to be running and doing this. So I have to be really careful about making sure that I'm, you know, recovering my body. So I'm probably going to be adding an extra carb, maybe extra protein too, just kind of seeing how my body does. So don't freak out and be like, I have to follow this 100%, or, you know, I feel like you can kind of tweak it a little bit. I mean, that's not saying like, oh, I'm going to eat, you know, more just because I want to, but really trying to listen to your body, because I do think everyone's, you know, we're all different. The next one, this isn't really the nutrition, but this is on the starter guide. I really, really want you guys to do your measurements and take pictures. You guys have probably seen some of my posts and Chantel's, like, you know, that scale just doesn't tell the whole story. So I had a girl, it was a couple months ago, but she lost like 10 inches, which is a ton. Like, in her pants, she couldn't wear pants anymore, just falling off of her. But the scale wasn't moving, and she couldn't get that out of her head. And so she's like, I think I'm just going to be done and give up, you know? And I'm thinking, what? Like, you're seeing results, you know? But she just couldn't get past that she wasn't seeing this number moving. And so in her mind, she was failing. So I really want you guys to kind of get away from the whole scale thing. So take pictures, like make sure they're not, or you feel awkward, like, hey, take a picture of me, you know? But I really think that they're so important. Okay, so once you figure out what plan that you're doing, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, then you're gonna know Most of you probably have containers. And so, you know, the green container is vegetables, the purple container is fruit, and, you know, red is protein, yellow is carbs, and then blue is your healthy fat. And then you have teaspoons, which will be like your nut butter, olive oil, coconut oil. And then seasoned dressings is, you know, your dressing, vinegar, or like olives or things like that. So also in our group in the files, I have put in there one of these, and it looks a little bit different than this. But this is how I like to track my portions in a day. I'm a visual person, so if I can see, like, okay, I've had 4 veggies today, I've had, I can keep track better that way. And you can do, there's an app you can follow. I've even seen some people wear like bracelets, which I'm like, that would drive me crazy. But, you know, or you can just keep a little tally on a piece of paper. That would be fine too. But anyways, I like to put mine in just a sheet protector, and then I write here up at the top how many portions I'm supposed to have of each. So 4 greens, 3 purples, 4 reds, so on. And then, you know, for breakfast, whatever I have, so if I have a vegetable, a carb, and a teaspoon, I will just mark that. And then I just keep this on my fridge. I'm not always home, obviously, so, but when I get home, I can kind of like fill it in or something. And it's not always perfect, but it kind of always just helps me to kind of keep on track. And then there's also this in there. You can print this out if you want, or just refer back to it in our group. This just gives you a list of foods that you can eat in each container. So, you know, you have your greens. It tells you, like, it gives you tons of ideas that you could use in your greens. Reds, tons for protein, tons of yellows, just gives you lots of ideas. And in your teaspoons, and then all your free foods. So I know this is information overload too. I remember when I first started doing this plan, I was in a group with Chantel, and I was like, I had a 7-week-old baby, and I was like, what the heck? What is this? Like, I'm not doing this. This is too much. But I know for me, like, I just have to start because, you know, I just get overwhelmed. But if I just start doing, then it starts to make sense. So that's my biggest advice for you guys, is just start. Like, you're not going to be perfect. You might be like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but that's how you learn, is just by doing. So my advice to you. We have put some meal plans in there for you guys just to try to make it easy for you. We've literally spent hours and hours on these, so please, like, use them. And these aren't from Beachbody. Like, these are from Chantel and I. We have spent time trying to figure out, like, what containers could go where and all that. And there's tons of recipes in here as well. And I know you guys are gonna like everything that is on, you know, the meal plans that we put. But, you know, look in here on the foods. And so where I have a protein, you know, replace it with something that you do like. And I have a blank meal planner in here that you guys can make up your own. Like, and it literally can be simple. Like, if you want to eat the same thing for your snack for the whole week, like, that totally works. Or if you want to change it up, that works too. Okay, so getting into the timed nutrition just a little bit. So we are supposed to eat something before our workouts, and they want us to eat a red, which is a protein, a green, a veggie, and yellow, so a carb. And I know this is going to be tricky for some of us, especially if you work out early in the morning. I know for me, I was first freaking out. Like, I literally eat half a banana before I work out. Like, and I work out early. So, but as I've been reading about it, like there's so much good that comes from eating before your workout. You have a lot more energy to get your workouts because you're not eating. So I've been trying it this past week, trying to figure out, okay, what could I eat? What won't upset my stomach? And I actually have felt more energy during my workout. So again, you're going to kind of have to figure out what works for you. I made these. I have the recipe in the recipe file here in the group, but I made these like quinoa, egg, and veggie cups. So they're just in like muffin tins. And I warm up 2 of those and eat before my workout. And so I feel like that's something that will be doable for me. I tried doing boiled eggs and I was like, oh, that's a little much for me. But Greek yogurt, you could have some Greek yogurt and some like granola before your workout. So just kind of try to figure out what works. I'm going to try to turn my phone around if I can. Okay. Okay, this is the files right here in our group. So if you don't remember, you go to info and files, and that's where you'll see all the stuff that you need to get started. And you can print some of it out or just come on here and look at it. But Chantel and I created this. This would be a good thing to print out because so there's plan A on here, and it tells you what to eat before your workout and gives you a bunch of ideas. So on here it says Greek yogurt with grape nuts or clean granola, some peanut butter, and a side of veggies. Or 2 energy protein bites, a boiled egg, and some veggies. So this just kind of gives you some ideas. And again, doesn't mean you have to eat that, but it just gives you some ideas. You can always replace that with something that you do like. Yeah, so make sure you guys utilize the stuff that we put in the file. The biggest thing I would say is just having a plan. Like, you're not always going to follow that plan. Like, stuff comes up, you know, your husband might come home one night and be like, hey, we're going out to dinner. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll have that. But try to find something that, you know, you're out to dinner that can go with your plan. I feel like you can always find something to kind of go along with it. Let's see, that's kind of like the gist of the nutrition plan. So, you know, so with the time nutrition, you want to eat before your workout, after your workout. If you have recovery, which is the Beachbody Performance Line, drink that right after your workout and eat a fruit with it. And then you'll have your post-workout meal, which for me will be like breakfast. And then, you know, so basically every 2 hours they want you to be eating. And that paper that I just showed you, if you follow that, it'll tell you pre-workout, eat these containers. Post-workout, eat these containers. Your meal 1, eat these containers. Meal 2. So that kind of gives you a guide, so you can be like, all right, I know what containers at least I should be eating at each meal, to kind of give you a guide. And again, like, your day's gonna stuff's gonna happen, so you might be like, well, I'm gonna have to eat more at this time or less at this time. Like, it's okay, like, stuff happens, so don't feel like you have to be perfect. So yeah, I will turn the time over to Chantel and let her talk a little bit, and hopefully you have time for you guys to ask questions.
Thanks, Nicole. Like she said, the biggest thing is probably to just get in and look at those files, because really, like, the guides will help you so much, and you can trade things in and out. So please take advantage of that. I wanted to talk super quick, because I know everybody listening to this video is not doing 80-day obsession, but I just want to take a minute, and those of you who are not and want help with just like the basic 21-day meal plan, I did put like 4 or 5 meal plans in a post in, so if you go look through the feed, just because our files are full, and so I just shared the Google Doc. I don't know that my internet connection is great. Am I choppy, or are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So one thing really quick, and this applies to no matter which program you're going to follow. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to kind of know how these containers work. And so, like for me, following the 21-day fix plan, before, this is new to all of us, this time nutrition and pre-workout and post-workout. But I know that it's going to become a part of our habits. It takes time, but it will. And just like with the 21-day fix before some of this went in, like I just kind of had a plan. It's better when I have a set plan. And for me, I really don't mind eating the same things all week. Sometimes I'll have like 2 options that I'll switch out, like 2 options for breakfast or 2 options for lunch. For my dinner, I usually always have like, because my family's not going to eat the same thing for dinner every night. But for example, for breakfast, my breakfasts are usually a red, a yellow, and like a half of a purple. And so typically what that looks like is 2 eggs, oatmeal, or like sometimes I have like the multigrain waffles, or like a good approved cereal, which we'll talk about that more, but like Kix or something like that. And then like a half of a fruit, which I usually eat like some sort of berries, usually strawberries. But I always know that I'm going to have a red, green, or red, yellow, and purple for breakfast. And then my lunch is always a red, a green, so a protein, a vegetable, and then sometimes a yellow. It kind of just depends. And then my dinners are always a green, a red, and if I have a yellow left, I'll have that. If I don't, then I won't have a yellow. And then what I do is just kind of plug in those extra greens that I need in like my snacks. I always drink my Shakeology. This is right now, that things are going to change with this time nutrition, but my Shakeology is always my afternoon snack. It gives me energy. It wakes me up from that, 3 o'clock, like I'm falling asleep, or I want to eat all the snacks in the house. It helps me with the cravings. So I always load like a cup full of spinach in that. And so that would give me my red and a green. And then, if I put some fruit in there, like the other half of my fruit or something like that. But I basically just in my mind know which meal are the containers. And I just kind of get used to that. And, you kind of you get used to that, knowing which kind of where they plug in. And so the more that you follow these plans, and I would say, like, if you can print out all those documents, I mean, if those aren't the plans that you're following, don't print them out, but look at them and look at those guides and get ideas, because those really will help you. And you can kind of create those and plug things in, when they're more convenient. Like if it's a day you're gone, like if I'm gone, I usually am at home, but sometimes I have to go to work outside of my house. And so those are when I will plug in an extra, something super convenient that I can grab. I can grab a yogurt and a little baggie of granola and some berries and just mix it all together, right? Whereas like going away and eating scrambled eggs isn't going to work. So just kind of make a plan and know that it's not going to look the same, and maybe have a couple options, a couple lunch options that you can kind of switch out depending on what you have ready. Nicole did a really good job covering the nutrition, so I'm not really going to talk any more about that. And I hope that I didn't confuse things more, I hope I didn't add confusion there. But I just wanted to say, go look at that, because we do have some guides in there for those of you not following the 80-day obsession plan. Okay, so our group, I want to talk about the purpose here, because you might see like, oh, some people are posting. What am I supposed to post? How often do I check in? So the purpose of our group in the app is for accountability. It's for motivation. It's for support. We want you to know that this is a super safe and positive place to be. Nicole knows half of you, and I know the other half, and we even know some of our overlapping challengers. And I know that I can say this the same for Nicole's challengers that in here as that I'm saying for my challengers. The people in here, the women in here are amazing. And you're going to find that out soon. If you're new to these groups, you're going to see that really soon. You're going to be uplifted by each other. And you're also going to see that we are all real. There are going to be days that it's going to help so much to see like, oh, I'm so glad, like, I'm not the only one that like it just didn't work to get my workout in today. Like I wanted to so bad, but life happened, right? And you'll see someone else be like, oh my gosh, today was so crazy and it just didn't happen. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not alone. Because sometimes when you're on your own, you're like, everyone else can succeed in this and it's perfect. But what we get to do here is we're going to see a glimpse into each other's journeys. And for me, and my hope is this is what does it for you too, that you're going to see that like the journey is not perfect. And you're going to see what it takes, what the journey of real people look like, because it's so easy to see day 1 to day 90 and see those changes, but not see those middle places. Because guess what happens in those middle places? It's not perfect. It gets crazy and life happens. And then you're also going to see like, oh my gosh, like she had the craziest day and her kids are up all night and sick and she made her workout happen. And if she can do it, so can I. And you're going to see how our hope is that you'll see like, okay, I don't have to be perfect, but I'm going to try my best. And you're also going to be motivated by others when you're like, look at her. Like she's given it her all. And because of that, like it's going to give you the motivation to show up and do your best too. But with that being said, just know this is not an all or nothing thing. Okay. Our purpose here is to help you create a lifestyle that you can live with. Those words, lifestyle, right? You don't want to do 80-day obsession and on day 81, go back to your old habits, right? You're not going to do all this hard work for nothing. You're going to do it to create habits that you can live with. And that is why we have created these meal plans with different options. These are foods that we eat, guys. And I'll tell you what, like anything that's overly complicated, I'm done. I just can't handle it. My brain cannot handle it. I need simple food that tastes good and does not take like a ton of brain power and a ton of time. And not everyone's like that. Some people like to be a little bit more involved and creative. And that's cool. If that's you, awesome. If you're more like me of like, keep it simple, but keep it good and food that's going to fuel my body in the right way, we've got a variety there. But we have created this to show you, and we're right here on this journey with you. We're on our own journeys. We don't have it all figured out. We're just doing our best. And every day, some days are awesome and some days are not so awesome. We all get that, right? But the goal is to create a lifestyle, something that you can live with. And like Nicole said, like there are going to be times when you're invited somewhere, or like tonight, here I am at family home evening and I knew the meal wasn't going to match exactly what I had. I didn't know for sure. And I came with my little sack, and it's hard in social situations to be like, oh, you're eating healthy. Like when people make comments, it's hard, right? We all know that. And sometimes I come and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to do my best. And other times, like I packed my little thing of chicken, of my Cafe Rio chicken, and that recipe is on there and you'll love it. And I brought a little salad just in case that there wasn't salad here. But there was it. I quickly warmed up my chicken. I put it on my plate. Pretty sure no one even noticed. Mixed it in with the salad that was already here. And it probably wasn't perfect, but it was close. And I did the best that I could. And there's going to be times that you're like, tonight I'm going to have a dessert. And there's going to be other times that you're like, I'm really good. Like my old habit, I would just eat it because it's here, but I don't really want it. I would rather save my treat for another night because you're going out on a date, or it's your birthday or your kid's birthday's in a few days. But the biggest thing is just do your best and be flexible with it. Know that you're going to, it takes some sacrifice to make some changes. There are going to have to be times when maybe you bring your little container of salad dressing because you're really trying to stick to your goals. And there's going to be other times that you're like, this is my cheat meal for the week. You just have to decide. We're going to get questions about cheat meals, and we're going to talk about all these things through the group. We're going to do one of these calls every week. But one thing that I try to do is, and I have had a coach that I've been working with, nutrition, and what he tells me is to have 1 hour of cheat a week. So like for an hour, eat whatever you want. And sometimes I've like stuck to that, and other times it hasn't been as easy. Maybe I had that one night, and then a few days later, like I had a little teeny treat, So I personally, that is my goal, is to stick to that perfectly, but you can kind of decide. And you might say, like, how many treats a week can I have? Well, I want to answer this in saying it depends on what your goals are. Like when I have a few treats a week and I show up and check in a week later, my progress isn't the same as when I really just stick to my one treat a week. So you kind of have to look at what your goals are. And again, this could be a whole other call that we'll probably do, but just think, what are my goals? We know you're not going to be perfect all the time, but when you plan ahead and not eat your treats in a, like an impulse, but when you plan ahead, like we're going out to dinner with my husband, I'm going out to dinner with my husband on Wednesday, and I'm going to have a cheat meal, and I want to have ice cream afterwards, and that is going to be my treat. Plan ahead. Okay. Back to our group here. So this is a great place, and it's here to support you. You'll see that you can check in with your workout. You'll see that you can check in with your Shakeology. I know that some people are not using Shakeology or using your performance line. That's fine. Just hit the Shakeology button and check in with that. But the goal is to check in, I would say, like 5 days a week, 7 if you want. We would love that. But set a minimum and say, okay, I'm going to check in 4 to 7 days a week is what I would say. You'll see that our group quiets down on Sundays, and that's okay. We don't really do a lot in here on Sundays. It's a day to kind of have off and be with your family. But the rest of the days, Monday through Saturday, you will see a daily post in here from Nicole and I to motivate you, to different tips, different things like that. So this is kind of our home base here. This is where we're at. This is where we offer our value. This is where we offer, our help to help you. Another thing is we really would love for you to check in with us individually. And Nicole's going to handle this with her challengers, and I will do it with mine. But I think that Nicole is going to do the same. Is once a week, we will send out a message to you asking how you're doing, a little link to fill out. It's just a little Google Doc that what it is that we'll just ask how your week was, your biggest accomplishments, what you feel like you could have done better, a goal for next week. And that allows us to help you. If you're not staying in communication with us, it makes it so hard for us to know where you're at. And one thing that, over the close to 3 years we've been doing this is a lot of the times when people are struggling, they tend to disappear and not answer our messages. Don't do that. Like, we're not going to be like, don't be embarrassed of like, I fell off the wagon. You're going to find here that we are all about not quitting. You're going to see posts this week. What is your why, and why are you not going to quit? Why are you going to start again the next day when today wasn't that great, but tomorrow you're going to start fresh? So make a promise to yourself that you're going to keep going. Make a promise to us that you're not going to disappear. Even if you're struggling, it's okay, because we get what that's like. But we're here to help you, and we're here to support you. So stay plugged into this home-based group. Support other people, comment on each other's posts, because and as you do that, you'll see people supporting you on your posts and lifting you up and cheering you on for your accomplishments. That is why we're here, so that you don't have to do this alone. We have the tools for you, we have the support for you, and as you plug into this group and you check in and be accountable to yourself and accountable here to this group, I promise you that you are going to get more out of this. You're going to be more successful. Okay. Set a time every day. Make a plan with yourself. Make an appointment with yourself like you would your hair appointment. You're not going to miss your hair appointment tomorrow at 9:00, right? We want you to treat it the same. If your workout is tomorrow at 9, make it happen. Do it. Show up for yourself and make a plan. I'm going to stop talking because we have 5 minutes left and we want to give a few minutes that you guys can ask questions for us. But we want you to know how excited we are that you're here, and we are here to help you. And I want you to know that you're in a safe place. So feel free to just share your cute little hearts. So, okay, your turn. Does anybody have any questions? Or anything we didn't cover, anything you're wondering, anything you want to add?
I have a question.
Okay.
Do we work out on Sundays? Is it on the plan or not?
No, so you probably haven't got your stuff yet, have you?
I did.
Oh, you
Actually,
did?
I paid for the very fast shipping.
Oh, sweet. So there's a little calendar it should have come with. It's like a little paper, and
Okay.
it has like the calendar on there, so it tells you which workout to do which day.
Okay.
Those Sundays are no is a day off. I think there's a couple Sundays on there that it says like to do. You can do like the recovery, which is like stretching. You can do that if you want. So
Cool.
But yeah. I like to put the calendar. I just really put mine up like where I work out, so that I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do today? Instead of like trying to figure it out.
Perfect.
And me, typically, I can honestly say that it's about a 10% chance that I'm going to do anything on Sunday.
Yeah.
But, if I'm super sore and that recovers there and I can sneak downstairs for a minute away from my family. But anytime there's been a Sunday workout, I usually don't get to it just because it's just a day off. But I'm sure the recovery is probably really great. So you can kind of decide. It's probably it's there for a reason and probably good for you. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
And also, like, I want to say this too, we'll talk about it, but like if you're not ready for 6 days a week, then don't feel like you have to do 6 days a week. Like this is your program, your goals, So if you're like, I'm ready, I can only commit to 3 days a week for now, that's okay. Like start out with that and then move up from there. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Will the meal plans typically be posted on like the Saturday before the next week, or not until Monday?
Yeah, I'll try to. I mean, these are just like guides, so we'll try to post some new ones and stuff. But I would like for you guys to try to I think Saturday's a good day to, kind of, or even Friday. I know a lot of people like to kind of prep Friday so that they can have the weekend to, like I don't meal prep very much, but I do prep some things like, boiled eggs or make like those little energy protein bites, like things that can make my life easier without like prepping out like my whole week of meals, which is awesome if you want to do that. That just takes a ton of time.
But yeah, we can, as we add in new meal plans, there's a lot in there right now. And as we do, we'll try to add them in like the end of the week before. So.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. This is going to shut off on us. And I always feel super bad when it shuts off in the middle of people. So I'm going to close us down, but thank you for joining, and please feel free to ask us anything, and underneath this link, I'm going to post the recording, ask questions, and we see these, we respond to each post. So if you've got anything to add or wondering at any point, please ask us, okay? We're super excited. We can't wait to see your workout post tomorrow. Check in with your workout and your Shakeology or Performance line, and we'll just be here to cheer each other on. So we'll see you later.
See ya.